Hello. Hello, everyone. And today's topic is from darkness into light. And darkness is a metaphor for lack of knowledge, metaphor for not understanding. Darkness, physical darkness, you can't see, or you can't see properly. And if it is extreme darkness, you really can't see anything. If it is a little dark, you distort things. Something that is maybe just a pillar or a boot, you may think it is a person because you can't see properly. But if it is pitch dark, you don't see anything. You will just bump into something and hurt yourself. With spiritual darkness, it is the understanding that we distort things from a spiritual perspective. That something that is very obvious and that is there, it is not understood. It is not seen. Now, and just like with physical darkness, if you say walk on the street and the lights are not working, it is dark, and there is some big post there, and you might think it is a person. And in your mind, you start thinking, oh, maybe it is a thief or a robber or someone who may assault me. And you create all kinds of feelings of fear, and you may even run, and you may stumble and fall and really hurt yourself. And all because you did not see clearly. You did not understand that it was just some post there, some pillar. But in your mind, you have created all these fearful emotions and anxious emotions based on not understanding what really is there. You couldn't see clearly. Whilst if it is full light and there is clarity, then it is clear that it is just a pillar. It won't do anything, and you will just walk calmly past it and have no second thought about it, and definitely you will not create any feelings of anxiety or insecurity or fear. Now, in the same way, in the spiritual realm, it is understood that we have moved into spiritual darkness, not just as individuals, but as a collective. We have moved away from spiritual understandings and things that are obvious, but we don't see it anymore. We don't use that eye of the mind, that inner eye is as if blind. We have entered into darkness, and then things that are obvious, things that are true, things that are there, we don't perceive them anymore. We don't see them anymore. And that is why we get into a distorted way of living, and all kinds of unnecessary and unrealistic fears and insecurities have emerged. And so, to give a simple example, say I think I am this plant or I am these flowers. Not just because I'm associated with them, I like them, we water them, but somehow I get into this feeling I need these flowers. These flowers define my value. So somebody says, oh, they are nice flowers, and I say, oh, they're saying I am nice. And so I start to internally get in bondage of this. I start internally identify with this, and somebody criticizes with this, I feel I am being criticized. I take the offense. Now this is ignorance. This is a distorted understanding of who I am. flowers are nice. I look after them. I can give them water. I move them. They are nice, nothing wrong with them. But me getting into an identity based on these flowers, me getting into ego based on flowers or the plants that are around, that is where the distortion takes place. When I start to feel my value depends on these things. And then somebody says it is ugly, I get annoyed. Somebody said I don't like it, I feel insecure because I start feeling I am rejected. So from clarity, I have moved into darkness. When I saw these flowers, I said, oh, they are very nice. You appreciate, you respect, you treat them well, you take care of them. But the moment I start to say, I like, they are mine, I want them, I identify with them. Everybody should see how nice they are. Everybody should say how nice they are. That is where I enter into darkness. And now maybe somebody takes them away. I feel depressed because I feel now I am nothing. I have no flowers. There are no flowers anymore. Or they break. Then I completely feel distressed as if I am not, I am completely hurt. That is the ignorance we get into, the distorted perception of self. Now, this is a silly example with flowers or a plant, but we do this all the time. Spiritual knowledge tells us we are spiritual beings, beings of consciousness, imperishable, timeless, divine beings that are invisible and timeless, immortal souls. And we associate with this body. And then after a while, we start thinking, I am this body. People praising this body, we feel praise of me. People criticize this nose, say too big, funny nose, we feel I am not good. People praising these clothes, I start feeling, oh, I am good. People say, what funny clothes are this? I take offense. We start identifying, we come as if into the bondage, into the darkness of believing, deeply believing that I am a physical, bodily being, that I am male or female. Soul is beyond gender. Soul is like the driver of this body. This body is temporarily a place of a lodging, a hotel. Soul uses the body, but soul is not the body. The real self is the soul. And so in this ignorance of identifying with the body, getting into the bondage of the body, into this distorted understanding of self, I start creating all kinds of thoughts and feelings and emotions that are based on this misunderstanding, this darkness. I start creating fear of being rejected because body is rejected. I start feeling maybe I start feeling arrogant because somebody says, oh, this body is beautiful, or the skin color is good or not good. Or I start to get into some anxiety or fear because this body gets old and there will come a time that this body is no more. Soul is imperishable. And when there is light, when there is clarity, when there is spiritual understanding, this is obvious. You get in a car, you don't expect the car to be around forever. You know that the car will come to the end of its lifespan, and then you take another car, or no car is also fine. So same way, the soul comes into this body, uses it as a vehicle, and there will come a time that this vehicle gets old. Soul will just leave the body, move on the journey. And so this whole phenomena of using a body, taking birth, and leaving the body again will be seen in a completely different way. There will be a different attitude and a different positioning to these live events when there is light, when there is the understanding that we are immortal, timeless beings of light. We can move out of this beggar and victim mentality into the mentality of fullness, royalty, spiritual completeness. So let us just come back to this essence for a few minutes and practice this. Allow the mind to experience again that state of clarity and light of at least our spiritual identity. This is what is meditation, to experience the fullness of our innate nature. So let's take a few minutes. Allow the body to be comfortable, and let us aim to create full light. And full light doesn't mean you put on all kinds of bulbs, although that nothing wrong with electricity and light. But come in that full awareness that here is a body, yes, we acknowledge. There is a physical personality, we acknowledge that. But the real self is this inner being, this higher being, the invisible experiencer, the soul. Timeless, innately peaceful, living light. And we use the image of a star to indicate the soul operating from the forehead, a being that belongs to another dimension and has come into this world as a visitor, an actor to play the part. In this body, we have it on lease, but it doesn't belong to us souls. Nothing in this world belongs to us. It's just a temporary gift to use, taken it on loan. We can't lose anything ever, because it wasn't mine in the first place. And just reflect on this. The real self is this tiny, sparkling, conscious being of light, like a star. Who has come from another dimension, travels the journey through time and space. An immortal being, imperishable being. Beyond death, beyond matter, free, pure, peaceful, living light. One who belongs to God and to that other dimension of stillness, silence, of light. Just visiting. And just hold this image of a tiny star, serene, free, immersed in light. And as we go through the rest of the day, just keep that aim to stay in light and to come back into light by connecting to essence. At least in essence, stay close to truth. Truth of the spiritual identity, the real self, the soul. Have a good day.